Alrighty, so what are your name and pronouns?
Hi, my name's Amaya. My pronouns are literally any, like she, he, they. I do not care.
And how do you identify?
I identify as genderqueer. For like a little explanation on that, just very briefly, is like I identify as kind of quote all of the above in like a, I guess, an interesting way, in my opinion. Like my gender feels weird, and so I just call myself genderqueer, and I feel like that suits me really well.
Could you tell me a bit about your VTuber model or persona?
I am an undead half dragon. I don't know anything about my past, but I do know that I've been not alive for a very long time, and I awoke in the modern world and want to sort of learn about everything and how humans live nowadays, since I've been gone for so long.
How did you ensure that your model represented you?
I worked very closely with my lovely design mama, Cynical Beanicle, to, like, all I had at the beginning was a Pinterest board and a dream, and she really made it come together into something that really just feels like me and represents my I guess the way I want to represent myself online and my aesthetic and all of that really well. And it was super, super awesome working with her.
What drew you to VTubing, and do you find it rewarding?
I started being interested in VTubing way back in like 2016, I think, with Kizuna Ai, and I was like immediately captivated with the medium, and for a long time I was like, there's no way that I can do this. There's no way that the technology exists to make me, regular person, an anime girl on the internet. But lo and behold, Hololive comes and enters the scene, brings VTubing to like a new audience in the West, and there's now all these amazing programs that allow you to do all these things, and now me, regular person, can become an anime girl on the internet.
Dream anime girl. I think that's what a lot of us were like when we first started out. We're like, oh my god, you mean I can be an anime girl?
Yeah.
What?
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely like a common experience, I think.
Yeah. Could you share some of the highs and lows of your journey being transgender or gender nonconforming in the VTubing space?
I think a really high moment for me has been like the acceptance that I experienced in my community and my chat, and also outside of it. Like I feel very accepted as myself when I'm streaming and like talking to my chat, both offline and on. And even before I was Amaya, my chat has always like really been accepting of who I am, and it's just been a wonderful experience just building this community. And I guess a low I have experienced like some cruelty and hate, as everyone does at some point. Like I was told a couple of times, like made fun of for my voice, because I know that it's like kind of deep for someone who's more femme presenting, and especially like I've been told that I sound like, oh, you sound 30, you sound like this, that whatever, you know. And it's I try not to let the hate get to me, you know, because people will suck. But the positivity has definitely outweighed the negativity in my experience.
That's awesome. I'm glad at least the positivity kind of you know outweighs it instead of all the negativity like dragging you down. And I actually want to let you know you're not alone in the fact of people, you know, making fun of your voice because it doesn't sound traditionally feminine, you know, it doesn't fit the exact you know, what's the word, mindset that you need to have, like, you know, a very feminine voice for a feminine model.
Yeah.
I'm very femme presenting myself, and my voice, I'm sure as you could guess, it brings a lot of harassment in for no good reason really, but when the moment someone perceives you as something they're not comfortable with, then that's when the harassment comes in. So I do understand. I think that's an experience that a lot of people go through in the VTubing space currently, being transgender.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. Trust me. Would you say that VTubing has helped you discover more about yourself?
I think so, yeah. I feel like I've discovered a lot more about my gender presentation. It feels a bit kind of like virtual drag, I guess, because I'm very masculine presenting offline. And obviously, like, I'm the complete opposite online. So it feels a bit like I'm exploring a different way of presenting my gender. And I've been kind of letting that enter my real life as well and presenting a bit more fluidly in real life.
What would you say to somebody who was looking at VTubing as an option to being their truest self in content creation?
What would I say? I think it's a really good option to like have the opportunity to feel like your most true self. And I think that anyone who's considering it should really take the leap and try it out, because there are a lot of like easy, accessible options to being a VTuber, and you don't need like a super fancy model or anything like that to just start out. And it's always something you can build up to as you explore yourself on your VTubing journey. And I think whoever wants to start should start. You won't regret it, hopefully.
Hopefully. I think most people tend to not regret it. So I think that's a good statistic, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid statistic.